Hello all, we're going to have a look at this 5 marker, which is using material from the item and elsewhere explain the full meaning of the term quantitative data. So you have to use the item because it tells you, and it's asking you for quantitative data. For a 5 marker, what we call a 1A 5 marker, to get all 5 marks, you must provide a definition of, in this case, quantitative data. You have to use the item. I'll show you the item in a second. And you have to provide 3 clear points. I use Grover to help me with my 3 clear points. So definition, use the item. Definition is 1 mark, use of the item is 1 mark, and the 3 clear points are the other marks. To remind you, the G is generalizability, the ability to apply results or make a claim. Its partner, they always go together, is representativeness. Does the sample, excuse the spelling mistake there, the sample or the group selected, do they reflect the characteristics in society in terms of social class, gender, and ethnicity? Okay. Does the group represent? The O is objectivity. Is the research free from bias or the researcher's opinion in both the results and questions? Free from bias. And the V is validity. Is the research truthful or accurate? Normally with open questions. Ethics. Does it protect respondents from harm? Protect from harm. Anonymity. No names. And confidentiality. No personal details. And then the last one is reliability, the ability to repeat the research and get the same or similar results or answers. Okay, just to remind you. I always use Grover to help me with my 3 clear points. Rep and Gen together would always be 1 clear point, so that you know. Okay, let's look at the actual exam question. So you'll see you have the 5 marker. Let's just check it's moved over. Okay, so right, so in the item, it says that the annual health survey, so the survey so in the item we can see that it says that the annual health survey for England revealed that there's a lack of physical activity has become a serious health issue on obesity levels arising. That is a statement. So what I'm picking up from the item is in the item we can see that the lack of physical activity, that is a statement or a claim which links to generalizability. Okay, that is a statement that the physical activity has led to an issue with obesity levels. There's a statement or generalizability because a survey has large samples. It can access very large samples. And then I think, well, the reason why you can access really large samples is because the questions are closed. I'm just writing all over the item. In 2008, a total of 15,102 adults and 7,521 children were given questionnaires. Again, questionnaires have closed questions. And again, 15,000 is a very large sample. Very large sample. The research gathered quantitative data, collecting information about physical activity. Because of the limitations of questionnaires, such as respondents having difficulty remembering activities or just guessing, some respondents were asked to wear measuring devices so that the accuracy, because I see accuracy, it makes me think of validity. It's not accurate. And it's not accurate because there's an issue with having to remember the activities or guess. It highlights that quantitative methods are not as valid. It's what that item is hinting at. They'll do a number of what I call Easter eggs. I stole it from Jordan Peele. I don't know if you're a big fan of Jordan Peele, but he always does loads and loads of Easter eggs in his films, but little hints and references to things. Okay, so I've had a look at the item. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to structure this question. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is start off with the definition. Quantitative data is data expressed in numerical or statistical form. It's data expressed in numerical or statistical form. Methods that produce quantitative data are questionnaires and structured interviews. Okay. Given a definition, and I've given some examples. That, I think, would get me 1 mark. The definition mark is what I've just got there. Okay. Then I'm going to give a clear point. And my clear point is going to come from reliability, this one. Okay, so I've got a definition mark, and now I'm going to do a clear point about reliability. Methods with closed questions generate quantitative data. Methods with closed questions generate quantitative data. And this produces more reliable methods with closed questions generate quantitative data. This produces more reliability as the closed questions mean respondents have to approximate their answers, and as a result are likely to give the same or similar answers in future. So I'll go back over that. Methods with closed questions generate quantitative data, and this produces more reliability, as the closed questions mean respondents have to approximate their answers. I have to choose from a list, remember? Good, satisfactory, poor. I have to approximate my answers. And as a result, I'm likely to give the same answer again or very, very, very similar in future. I've explained to the examiner I know what reliability is because of this point. That would get me 1 mark. So I've covered my reliability point. It's really well explained. I'm in no doubt the examiner is going to give me that mark. Okay, right. Then I'm going to do rep and gen. So the closed questions mean I'm going to give exactly the same answer again because I can't talk in my own language about how I feel about something. I'm going to pick good again next time. But the closed questions also mean that it means you can access large samples of people. So closed quantitative methods, because that's the question. Quantitative methods that use closed questions are quick for respondents to complete. They're really quick for respondents to complete. The closed questions are quick for the respondents to complete. This means researchers can access large samples or groups of people. Because they're closed questions, they're really quick for the respondents to complete. And this means that researchers can access really large samples. This makes the results more representative. They can account or they include key characteristics based on class, gender, and ethnicity. It means the samples are more representative. They include key characteristics based on class, gender, and ethnicity. And as a result, researchers can make a claim or apply results that is the rep and gen clear point. It doesn't matter that I'm mentioning closed questions again because I'm linking it to a different term in Grover. Okay, definition mark, numerical statistical. It's reliable. You're going to get the same or similar answers again because of those closed questions. The closed questions mean I can ask thousands of people, represent their views, and therefore also generalize or make a claim. 1, 2, 3. Okay. In the item, so I'm going to do the item mark now. I have to clearly say to the examiner, this is the mark I'm going for, right? In the item, we can see the sample was 15,102 adults. That's just been lifted from the item. In the item, we can see the sample was 15,102 adults. This is a large sample because questionnaires have closed questions, making it quick to conduct research and therefore have large samples. So in the item, I'm taking the bit that's linked to the 15,000. In the item, the sample is 15,000 adults because the questionnaires have closed questions, making it quick to conduct the research and therefore having such large samples. It's why they can make the claim, in brackets, generalize that, let's check what they exactly said, that it's a lack of physical activity. That it's a lack of physical activity that's causing serious health conditions. So I'm taking the generalizability that the item linked at and the representativeness to link to the item. That's the item mark. Definition is here. Clear point linked to reliability. Clear point linked to rep and gen. Item linked to rep and gen. So the examiner's like very clever. You can see when we're hinting at rep and gen and link to it and explain it. Very well done. Right. Okay. Ooh, I'm missing a mark. I can see I've got 4. Right. Validity. Now, the item helped me because the item said that there was a lack of validity because of them having to remember. So I don't need the item again. I won't get a second mark for using the item, but it makes me think, okay, I'll do validity. So quantitative methods can lack validity. Quantitative methods can lack validity. Being truthful or accurate. They can lack validity, being truthful or accurate, because respondents have to approximate their answers. So it can lack validity because respondents have to approximate their answers from the closed questions provided. They also have to use their memory or may not fully understand the questions asked. This decreases the validity or accuracy. So I have to approximate, I have to say it's good. I have to use my memory to remind myself. And I might have not really understood the question. When you said physical activity, I might have thought you meant the gym. I didn't think you meant walking for 2 hours every day. You need to clarify what you mean. And there's no one there for me to ask. Validity is the last mark. You only do a criticism, like I've just done there, this method isn't this, when you've run out of what it is, if that makes sense. 1 mark, 2nd mark, 3rd mark. Okay, that is quantitative to help support your understanding. The other one you can also do is you can link it to theory. So that's what we would have done in the lesson. So the other one you can do, just to give you an option, my go-to is, so positivists favour quantitative methods because it enables them to take a macro approach, large scale, enables them to take a macro approach or large scale, and ensures they can establish key patterns and trends. So you can use that instead of the validity. That just came to me. I generally try and use Grover T. The T is theory. Is it positivism? Looking at patterns and trends? Or is it interpretivism? Looking at individual meanings and motives. Okay? Theory is always a really good one. Now given them 6 marks, but I just remembered that we can include that in it. Definition, definitely. Clear point, item, and then there's 2 possible clear points there. Any questions, please let me know, but just ensure you've written that all out to help support you with what we've done in the lesson, but also applying it to the exam board. Thank you, folks.